Hello and welcome to a new video here on my channel here at Comaik. As you can already see, I have something new, the EufyCam S4. This camera was provided to me for testing, and that's exactly what I'll be doing in this video. And as you can see at first glance, in addition to a PTZ unit and the bullet unit, up here it also has the camera comes with a solar panel, 10,000 milliamp hours, 4K resolution, and AI that handles surveillance completely on its own. Whether this thing is actually worth the money, that's what I'll be looking into in this video, and I'm already looking forward to it. Definitely stick around if you're interested. As you probably know, up until now I've only tested cameras from Reolink and have used Hikvision as well. This is now my first camera from eufy that I get to test for you. It was provided to me free of charge by Eufy, and I have to say, what can I say? At first glance, it really makes a very high quality impression. The camera is quite heavy and well built. Right on the camera, I have the 360-degree PTZ module with two lenses, one of which is a zoom lens, optical zoom, mind you. And above that, there's another lens, angle adjustable, with which I can capture the wide shot. This way, I have the ability to keep the wide shot in view at all times, while the PTZ unit follows the movement. It is supposed to follow, be it a person, an animal, or a car. Whatever it may be, I can set zones and no-go areas. All of that is supposed to be possible with this camera. So I'm really curious to see how well the camera performs. The power supply is provided by the solar panel. Later, I'll set everything up here in my test area to cover this section and see what kind of footage I can capture for you. But before we get to that, before we get started, I'm going to head up to the office and show you what's included in the package and what belongs to the camera. I'll show you how to set up the camera in the app, how to use it in the web portal, and I'll show you how to access the footage. Let's get started. Let's move on to the unboxing of the EufyCam S4. Included in the box, besides the camera itself, are a 10,000 milliamp hour battery. Of course, the solar panel is also included, and you get a small box as well, which contains the cables, the mount, screws, and so on. All you need for installation is a screwdriver to attach the camera. The camera is designed as a hybrid system. Up here, you have the bullet unit, which houses the wide angle and ensures panoramic shots. Additionally, underneath it, there is a 360-degree PTZ module that can also be tilted vertically. The footage is recorded in 4K resolution, so that faces and objects remain clearly recognizable even at greater distances. A particularly important point is the power supply. By default, the camera runs on the included 10,000 milliamp hour battery. As already mentioned, it is also replaceable. That's a huge advantage in my opinion. You can remove the battery from the back here and replace it with another battery. So if the battery is defective, you don't have to replace the entire camera. There are several ways to power the camera. According to the manufacturer, just 1 hour of direct sunlight with the solar panel is enough to power the camera for an entire day. Alternatively, you can also charge the battery at any time via the USB-C port, and you can use the camera in continuous operation with the USB-C port. It's located back here. Then in the camera settings, you just need to change the working mode from battery to direct power. This way, the camera is also suitable for 24/7 continuous recording, and the storage. For storing recordings, the EufyCam S4 is equipped with a microSD card slot, which is located on the back of the camera. This slot supports cards of up to 256 gigabytes, so you can save the recordings you make directly onto the SD card in the camera. However, you should know that the camera cannot be used locally. It is not exclusively usable locally, because setting it up necessarily involves the app. Even later, access is primarily through the app and the Eufy security portal in the browser. Unfortunately, there isn't a dedicated local client like the one I'm familiar with from Reolink, so I always have to grant the camera access to the internet in order to be able to use all the features. By the way, the camera works with a combination of radar and PIR sensor. This allows movements to be reliably detected and false alarms to be significantly reduced. Additionally, AI-powered detection is used. Faces, people and objects are automatically recognized and precisely tracked. Thanks to the tracking, EK's target always remains in focus. With so-called group tracking, even multiple people can be captured in the image at the same time. Another practical feature is the two-way audio system. With it, you can not only hear what's happening in front of the camera, but I can also speak directly with visitors and delivery personnel. The camera has a built-in microphone. You can also see a speaker here on the side. When it comes to night vision, the camera actually offers two different modes. On the one hand, there's color night vision with LED spotlights and image enhancement using artificial intelligence, which even enables almost daylight-like colors, even in low ambient light. On the other hand, there's the classic infrared black and white view. This mode is more energy efficient and as a result keeps the camera running longer. For central control and organization, the camera can be connected to the EufyCam Homebase S380. This is a central control unit from EufyCam that unlocks additional functions. These include bionic mind AI recognition, cross-camera detection, and intelligent snapshot overviews. With the Homebase, the entire system becomes even more powerful. The system links multiple cameras together and, for example, also enables motion tracking around the entire house. Even though the person is recorded by different cameras, I'm shown a single video during playback in which I get a compilation from all the cameras. That's an incredibly exciting feature and I'm really looking forward to trying it out in the future. Yes, and beyond that, AI isn't the only thing running directly on the camera. This camera is also compatible with common smart home solutions like Google Assistant, Amazon Alexa, and Home Assistant. That way you can, for example, conveniently display live images via voice command or voice signal directly through your smart home system and also control the camera. So, as you can see, the camera offers many exciting and impressive specifications and features. I'm really curious to see how the camera performs in practice. At the same time, I'm also asking myself, who is this camera actually for? Who is the right target audience for it? Well, in my opinion, the target audience is primarily homeowners and property owners who prefer a simple and wireless installation. And at the same time, value high 4K video quality, smart AI features, and solar power supply. Integration into flexible smart home systems, such as Home Assistant, is of course another plus point. Before we continue, one more important note. In the video description directly below this video, you'll find more details, the technical specifications, and the latest offers for the EufyCam S4. There are discounts of up to 15% on bundles. Be sure to check it out to secure the best deals. While you're down there, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. If you don't want to miss my future videos, then subscribe to my channel. That's enough talking and enough advertising for now. I'll show you now how I set up the camera in my app. After that, I'll install it in my test area in my garden and show you how to properly mount the device on the wall. I'm on the app's home screen and will now add the camera. If you want to know where to get the app, just take a look under the video in the video description. There you'll find the relevant links to the App Store or Google Play Store. I can now either use the big Add Device button or the plus at the top right to add a new device. In the selection list, I could now choose the appropriate select the camera, but I'm going to use the built-in scanner by clicking the scanner icon at the top right. The camera was detected and I can immediately choose which camera network I want to integrate this camera into. Since this is my first EufyCam camera, I will leave the setting as suggested and click Next. Since I don't have a home base, I connect the camera directly to my router. I confirm the Bluetooth request and press the sync button on the back of the camera for 2 seconds. I confirm with Next. Now I select the appropriate Wi-Fi network and confirm the credentials for my network. Setting up this particular camera took just under 2 minutes, a remarkably quick process. Now I can clearly see a live preview and can effectively utilize this visual aid to perfectly position the camera at its intended future location, ensuring optimal coverage and functionality. The camera is now fully set up. In the app, I can use all the functions. Now, I just need to mount the camera somewhere up there on my wooden shelf. For the installation of the camera, I need the camera itself, a cordless screwdriver, and a regular screwdriver. And all I have to do now is attach the mount for the camera. All the materials are included in the box. I already mentioned that earlier. Among other things, there's this mount. The camera is designed so that the mount can simply be slid in from the back and secured with the 2 side screws. You need to attach this bracket to the ceiling. For this, there are even drilling templates. For this, I can also screw the mount to the wall or up on the ceiling. Now I will install the camera. Afterwards, I will plug the solar panel into the back of the camera using the extension cable, which is also included. The opening is located behind a rubber cover. I will then place the solar panel up here on the roof. Up there, it gets sun all day long. I have mounted the EufyCam S4 here on my test site, attached it to the wooden shelf, aligned it, and simply placed the solar panel on the roof using the extension cable. When you install it at your place, please make sure to position the solar panel so that it gets as much sun as possible throughout the entire day. This way, the battery is continuously supplied with solar power. Through the app, I can now check whether my perspective and view are set up correctly. I can still adjust the bullet area up here a bit with my finger and set the angle of the viewing height. I can see the live image directly on my phone since I had already set up the camera beforehand. I can control the PTZ module live directly with the app, left, right, up and down, just the way I need it. Another quick look at the app. On the home screen I can see the EufyCam S4. If you have multiple cameras or UFI devices, they will be displayed one below the other. At the top I see the camera's panoramic image, and below that the PTZ recording. In the PTZ camera section I can also see the name of the camera. I can see the strength of the Wi-Fi signal and also the current battery level. To the right of that I see the quick playback. The number 42 has nothing to do with the answer to the universe, but rather shows me the number of recordings I haven't watched yet. By tapping the three dots, I can access the settings. With a click on the quick start playback, which is the first button, I see the recordings the camera made today, but I can also switch directly to other days. Here I have a kind of timeline that I can scroll back and forth. I can watch directly in one comprehensive go to fully understand what precisely happened today. Beyond that, I can also conveniently click on the specific 42, which is quite helpful. The camera shows me an event overview. Here I can quickly see what happened today and at what time. You can see it, I was busy today. I made a lot of recordings with this camera today. Now I can watch them. Here, a person was detected, and here something else was detected. Using the filter, I can set that directly and, for example, select that I want to see pets displayed. There are no recordings for this filter. Only people have been recorded. I can click on the video and then see directly the recording that the camera made. I have to say, the quality of the recordings is absolutely impressive. Especially on such a small screen like a smartphone, you can see everything very clearly. Through the three dots, I get a quick selection where I can turn on the alarm and the lighting. I can also access the settings from here, and I want to show you those just briefly. In the settings, you can also see the camera at the very top with the most important data, the battery status at 100% and the Wi-Fi signal, which is also at full strength. The sensitivity setting is another important feature. Here I can set the sensitivity of the alarm trigger from 1 to 7. I switched it to 7. At 4 and 5, it didn't. An alarm was immediately triggered for every single event that my system detected. Other cameras recorded. For the motion detection area, which is the setting below, I also set it to the maximum. The camera can monitor up to 12 meters away. But I can also set shorter distances here. For example, if I'm not allowed to film that far because there is a public sidewalk in the distance, the pan and tilt adjustment area is also interesting. Here, I can manually activate or deactivate AI tracking. This means that the camera recognizes me as a person and the PTZ unit actively follows me. In the video settings, I can specify whether I want a watermark. For example, that would be the display of the date. What should happen in night mode? Here I can choose between infrared mode with the LED spotlight or completely without lighting, but I wouldn't recommend that to you. I've enabled image enhancement. Through AI algorithms, the image is improved. This is especially noticeable at dusk because even though the surroundings are dark, the images are still bright and sharp. I can also set the streaming quality. This is the quality I see live on the screen. For my recordings, I've set it to 4K, but I could also switch to the automatic setting. With this setting, you can of course also influence battery usage. The higher the resolution, the more power is consumed. Under the recording settings, I can specify in which quality the data is saved. Here, I recommend using 4K resolution. After all, when you watch the videos later, you want to have the best quality. After being able to test the EufyCam S4 for quite a while now, it's time for a conclusion. What's my verdict on the camera? How do I rate it? Well, the hardware has convinced me. The images are razor sharp on my phone. 4K resolution. I can see everything clearly. I can recognize faces. I can identify the animals. I can also read license plates from a distance. That works very well. That convinced me. The quick and easy operation directly on the phone is also definitely a plus if you're not really focused on using a big monitor. Maybe you don't even have a computer and do everything at home on a tablet or with your smartphone. Then the EufyCam S4 is definitely worth considering. So take a closer look at it, because in my opinion, this camera is designed for quick setup. To monitor a single family home or something similar. No unnecessary frills. Just mount the camera, install it via the smartphone app, and you're good to go. If an alarm comes in, you get a push notification. If I want to check in the evening to see what happened, I can use the event search to specifically see what went on. Thumbs up for that. It works. However, in my opinion, using the app is also a disadvantage because at least at the moment, it's the only solution available. I can't use a web portal and I also can't access the camera via a local client. There is no way to access it from my computer, but that's exactly what I personally prefer. I like to access the recordings on a big screen. I analyze the footage and I also want to be able to check what happened on the monitor. I can't do that with this camera, at least not at the moment. Eufy has confirmed to me that the web portal will be added soon. So that the camera will also be accessible via the eufy security portal. That means I will then be able to watch the live feed on the monitor as well. What else I can do there, I have to be completely honest. I don't know. I just wasn't able to test it. And beyond that, I have to say that the function of accessing the camera exclusively online via the web portal leaves me conflicted. My cameras are allowed on the internet so that I can access them from anywhere in the world. But I also want to keep the option to access the camera exclusively locally via my computer directly. To download the data from the SD card in the camera without having to go through the web portal, there's always a vulnerability there. Who secures the web portal? I don't know, and I don't want to say anything wrong. The portal is certainly well secured, but it is, after all, an additional point of attack. Personally, I also never really warmed up to controlling and setting up the camera on my smartphone when I wanted to set the privacy mask or the areas that should be blacked out. I had to do all of that on this tiny screen. For my big hands, that's just too fiddly. I would really like a function that lets me access the camera directly from the computer or Mac, so I can set the functions precisely with a mouse. Even on a tablet, it would still be too small for me personally. My eyes just aren't good enough anymore and my hands are too big. The other drawback I noticed during my long test recordings is that the camera kept filming me here for quite a while, and suddenly I get the message power saving mode and the camera shuts off. It does this even though I'm walking around in front of the camera and actually expect it to record continuously. So I'm curious to see if Eufy will optimize this with a firmware update so that it works even if it affects the battery. It will drain faster. I'm aware of that, but no matter how full the battery is, as long as the camera can film any movement and there are alarm triggering objects in front of the lens, I simply expect the camera to keep recording. What's your take on this? Give me some feedback on what you think about the camera. What do you think of the function? What do you think about the hardware, the video recordings and the integrated software? What do you think about the fact that usage is primarily aimed at app users? I'm looking forward to your feedback. Leave me a comment below the video. Give me your feedback. And if you want to know where you can buy the camera or the home base to get the most out of it, then also take a look below the video. EufyCam provided me with the camera and there are also matching promo links. I'll put all of that for you below the video in the description. You can just click on it. Then check out what price range we're actually talking about here. If it's interesting for you, then buy the camera and just try it out. Afterwards, feel free to give me feedback on your impressions. I'm now done with this video and thank you for watching. You saw my test setup. There are a few other cameras that will be introduced soon. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a like. We'll see each other in the next video. Take care. See you then. Bye.